It says we're live, so we're just going to go with it. We're just going to do a little tech check really quick to make sure that you can hear and see everything okay. And then we'll get started. I wonder if that's a notification saying, you've gone live. If I have YouTube on my phone still, we do. Okay, let's see what it says. It's hilarious. It puts like my headshot up as like the normal picture for this. It's hilarious. It puts like my headshot up as like that's okay. We don't need to watch. I see. Get us out of like abort mission. All right, gang. So we started this yesterday on Twitch, and because I try to do alternate one day on Twitch, one day on YouTube, and just do it that way. Ignore my messy shirt. I just ate. I just didn't feel like changing. This is the next step of what we're doing today. So we did this on Twitch yesterday, Peyton and I. And basically what we're going to do is I'm trying to catch up with all my comic books. So I'm just reading them to you as if I was reading you a bedtime story. And I have a bunch of them. So if there's anything in particular you want to hear, let me know. I'd be happy to read that for you. But we'll be doing this for a couple of hours. So let me see what we have so I can show that to you. So we do have a few pages left. I'll probably finish this first of a Marvel Voices Pride #1. This is from 2022. And then I have this. We'll probably do this next if no one else has any suggestions. This is Aquaman 6. We read up to 5 yesterday. So it'll be nice to be able to finish that off because I honestly don't know if there's any more of that. Because when I tried to order my books for this month, Aquaman is usually later in the month, but there's not even, I normally would see that it's going to come out, nothing. So that might be the end. This is Batman Urban Legends 13. And I'll do this kind of quickly in case you were here yesterday, because I don't want you to have to sit through this again. This is Clementine. That one's obviously a graphic novel, which is much bigger. Batman 14. Sorry, these are the Urban Legends again. This is Batman Urban Legends 15. These are bigger books too. I'm very behind. Batman Urban Legends 16. They're also a combination of variants as well as Batman Urban Legends 17. The regular covers, because I am a cover person. Batman Urban Legends 18. I can definitely be swayed to purchase a comic book based on the attractive man that may or may not be on the cover. This is a William Shatner's Tech World. This is Superman, Son of Kal-El 13. I also have 14 for that series. This is Legion of X3. The United States of Captain America, number 5. This is Judgment Day, which was one of the free Comic Book Day comics. And if you do not participate in getting the free Comic Book Day comics, sometimes comic book stores will have them left over even after, as well as if you get a free account with Comixology, which you can also do through Amazon. You have access to a lot of free Comic Book Day comics digitally on there as well. So this is another one, DC League of Super Pets. These are the Batman the Knight series. So this is 4. This is 5. This is 6. And this is 7 of 10, which just means that's going to end soon. Exciting for all of us. This is Nightwing 92. This is same series, 93. There's 94. How did I do this in the wrong order? And that's 91. Oh, it's probably because that's one of my favorite covers. So I probably was trying to show that off. Okay, so let's go in and try to finish off Marvel Voices Pride 1. And then we'll continue on with if you have suggestions. Otherwise, like I said, we'll jump into Aquaman. So we're at a part where there's an ad for Ghost Rider 6, The Spirit of Vengeance versus Wolverine. It says Nuss said summer 2022. This also is the part in the comic book where they give you access to the digital copy. So what you can do, if you have not done this already, I would highly recommend getting a Marvel Insider Rewards, starting a membership with Marvel Insider Rewards, and it's free. And you can, whenever they have these opportunities to get a free digital copy of the book you have just purchased, that's where you can go and put in this code, and then you'll have it in your library online. It's also saved on Comixology, which I discussed earlier, in what's part of Amazon now. So that's nice to have as well. And you can also earn points through that rewards program to get more comics and other stuff in the Marvel universe. So that's also nice. So maybe we'll do that right now before we forget, because I can do that while we're streaming. Let's see. I should probably peel this off, and I'm going to try not to show you. Uh-oh. And there's lots of other things that you can do on, it's marvel.com/insider. There's lots of stuff that you can do on there to earn more points so you can get more stuff. I enjoy it. How does it say how long I've been a member? It doesn't say right off the bat, but I have 143,900 redeemable points right now. Redeem. We need to go to the redeem part of this, though. Redeem. Redemption. Oh, there we go. We'll just go to the redeem digital comics. That's an option at the very lower part of the page. Let's see. I don't know. I think it is, because the numbers are bigger. Yay. Yeah, give me that comic. Can I sign him? How does it know that that's mine? Okay, very weird. He just knows that that's me. I honestly don't know. Let's look at our profile really quick. I think that's more points. So that might mean that my comic redemption went through. Yes, August 15th. That is today. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we'll close out of there really quick. All right, let's get back to reading. So where did we leave off? Using design tech. What are we talking about here? This was still we're talking about Jumbo Carnation. So after returning to Krakoa, Carnation worked alongside Frost and mutant chef Saucier to host the inaugural Hellfire Gala, an event Frost opened to human dignitaries from around the globe. Carnation designed dozens of outfits for many of Krakoa's significant residents, including members of the X-Men. Frost, Carnation's patron, received 3 different gala looks. Carnation also accepted requests to design uniforms for the Corporate X Corps and Quentin Quire, Kid Omega, a young mutant who had been affected by Carnation's death. Soon after, dozens of Carnation's looks debuted at the Hellfire Gala. The success of the event inspired Carnation to publish a book of his gala creations. Carnation then designed costumes for the newly elected X-Men Insomnus Carl Valentino, a former lover of Krakoan resident Dakin Akahiro, who'd recently been resurrected. Carnation deemed his work for Somnus some of his best. When former X-Man Banshee Sean Cassidy called for backup while defending a Krakoan warehouse in Ireland, Carnation Frost and a group of Krakoans responded despite never serving on a combat response team. An unhesitant Carnation physically fought cyborg Reavers and helped end their threat. Though the CIA investigation into Carnation's death did not produce results, Daily Bugle journalist Ben Urich gained knowledge about Carnation and others who had been resurrected. Urich planned to publish an expose, but his memory was telepathically erased by the X-Man Sync, Everett Thomas, to protect mutant kind. When X-Men leader Cyclops Scott Summers was publicly killed, Carnation worked with mutant inventor Forge to create a prototype battlesuit, allowing Cyclops to surreptitiously operate with the X-Men as Captain Krakoa. After this, Carnation turned his attention to preparing for the second Hellfire Gala, the theme of which had been decided by Frost and Carnation before the first had even taken place. He also worked closely with the newly resurrected Thunderbird, John Proudstar, in creating an outfit that honored both his native and mutant heritages. Abilities, accessories. Jumbo Carnation has 4 arms and sturdy polytetrafluorethane-like fireproof skin, which grants him enhanced durability, the full extent of which is unrevealed. His viscera apparently do not share this toughness. Carnation carries a folding fan and a knife, wears multiple piercings on his face and ears, and utilizes advanced technology for his design work, the origin and specifications of which are unrevealed. Carnation is an accomplished artist and fashion designer. As a Krakoan, he has access to transport portals that provide intercontinental and intergalactic teleportation, and he speaks English and Krakoan. Height 5'9", weight 315 pounds, eyes blue, hair bald, intelligence at 2, strength at 3, speed 2, durability 3, energy production 1, fighting skills 3. First appearance was in New X-Men 134, 2003. Then there's some information about the art by. So that's what we just read. I almost want to see if this light makes a difference. Let's see what that looks like. I don't know if that helps me or not. And it doesn't look good on the screen. So then this is Escapade. I call her Sheila. It might be Shella, though. Real name Sheila Sexton. Alias is formerly an unrevealed dead name used pre-transition. Identity presumably known to Krakoan authorities. Occupation, thief, game designer, part-time. Citizenship, USA. Place of birth, Medford, Massachusetts. Known relatives, unidentified parents. Group affiliation, Matt Baker House, Supertrans support group. Education, some college courses. History. In 5th grade, Sheila Sexton met schoolmate Morgan Red, and the two bonded over their shared secret of being transgender mutants. Red's family invited Sexton to live with them after Sexton's mutant-accepting parents ostracized her for later coming out as trans. During 9th grade, Sexton accidentally swapped places with Ransom High's principal for an afternoon. At some point before turning 19, Sexton, Red, and a genetically engineered flying turtle named Hibbert moved in together and joined the trans mutant support group run by D-Man, Dennis Dunphy, at the Matt Baker House in Ridgewood, Queens, New York. The two built a surrogate family with this group. Later, as Escapade, Sexton became a professional thief who targeted criminal and corrupt individuals' organizations, with Red providing a remote technical support. Hoping to prompt Escapade into accepting training in the use of her powers, telepath Emma Frost shared a vision the precognitive destiny Irene Adler had of Red dying due to Escapade accidentally misusing her power. Refusing Frost's offer, Escapade instead developed a fear of her power and began using only technology stolen from her targets in her heists. Upon learning of an onyx needle that, through unrevealed means, would prevent Destiny's vision, Escape began secretly seeking the needle. Her secrecy caused Red anxiety, straining their relationship. Her growing fear of Destiny's vision eventually compelled Escapade to reluctantly accept Frost's training on the mutant island nation of Krakoa and tell Red of Destiny's vision. Despite the revelation, Escapade and Red reaffirmed their best friendship and remained partners in crime. Abilities, accessories. Escapade can instantaneously switch physical locations with another person or trade any specific physical or abstract attribute, such as possessions, organizational status, skills, superhuman powers, etc. To use her power, she needs to be within 7 feet of her target. While switched, she can take on the physical health of her target, for example, trading a broken arm for a healed one, but all attributes, including health, return to their original owner when the charge ends or when the change ends. Escapade can choose to end a swap at any time, but can concurrently maintain it for only a few hours at a time. The more complex the switch, the higher the chance of a mishap, or Escapade losing control. Escapade wears a tool belt containing an arsenal of stolen tools and devices, including goggles with heads up displays, lockpicks, a pair of dice that generate random gravity disruptions, high or low, a flashlight, and test disrupting glitter bombs. She wears a headset earpiece to communicate with her technical support, Morgan Red, and can fly using detachable repulsor based devices worn on her boots and gloves. Escapade wears a heart shaped ring that says she, her. Height 5'9, weight 175 pounds, eyes green, hair reddish brown with blue dye. Intelligence at a 3, strength at a 2, speed at a 2, but it looks like maybe a half. Durability at 2, energy projection 3, fighting skills 1. Using flight repulsors, potential via swapping. Okay. So using flight repulsors, her speed goes up, and then potential via swapping, all of that stuff can go up as well. First appearance, Marvel's Voices Pride #1, 2022. Who knew? So then there's Somnus. Is Somnus this very attractive person here? We're about to find out. Okay. Which is funny because I feel like I've seen him on covers of maybe the other voices, like the other variants, and I just wasn't into it. But the picture at the bottom looks attractive, if that's who it is. Okay. More importantly, Somnus. Real name, Somnus, formerly Carl Valentino. Aliases, none. Identity, previous life, no dual identity. Current life, publicly known on Krakoa. Former real name, presumably known to Krakoan authorities. Occupation, adventurer. Citizenship, Krakoa, Canada, legally dead. Place of birth, unrevealed location in Canada. Known relatives, Carl Valentino, grandfather, deceased. Unidentified parents, deceased. Emil Valentino, brother. Sarah Valentino, sister. Married, surname unrevealed. Unidentified nieces, nephews, grandnephews, and grandnieces. Group affiliation, Marauders. Education, unrevealed. Sorry, I'm taking off my socks because I just don't want my feet to get too warm and for me to get too warm. And it looks like Peyton has tapped out already. So that's how it works in this family. Okay, so let's just check the phone really quick. I should probably turn this up so that I know if anything important comes through. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. I think definitely okay. All right. So then, history. Carl Valentino was born in Canada shortly after his parents immigrated from Italy in the 1930s. When they died in the 1950s, Valentino raised his much younger siblings, Emil and Sarah, hiding that he was gay and a mutant. A chance encounter in 1967 Toronto with a fellow mutant, the bisexual Dakin Akihiro, led to a romantic night. Wanting to know Akihiro better, Valentino shared his dreams that night and extended their encounter into a lifetime of happiness growing old together. However, when Akihiro woke to discover it had been a dream, he panicked and fled. Over subsequent decades, Valentino found happiness in comic books, science fiction, and caring for his growing family as both his siblings married and had children of their own. Much loved by his nieces. Hold on. I just want to make sure. Okay, much loved by his nieces and nephews, and in time by their children too, Valentino spent a lifetime surrounded by people who loved but never truly knew him, remaining closeted his entire life before peacefully passing. However, after seeing Valentino's obituary, Akihiro decided his former lover deserved a second chance and arranged Valentino's resurrection on the mutant nation state Krakoa. Reborn young again, Valentino embraced the new beginning by renaming himself Somnus. He was gifted an outfit created for him by mutant designer Jumbo Carnation, who believed the look was some of his greatest work. A short while later, Captain Kitty Pryde recruited Somnus into her Marauders mutinous rescue team when Akihiro went missing. After they rescued Akihiro from the sadistic Brimstone Love's Theater of Pain, Somnus stayed with the team, feeling there was no point to having a second life if he didn't live it. The team's second mission took Somnus into outer space, where Somnus saw Earth from orbit, giving him great joy. During the mission, Somnus developed a friendship and easy camaraderie with both Akihiro and Akihiro's current lover, Aurora. John Marie Balbier, who these are all people that we just heard about in earlier on. Whether Somnus legally changed his name from Carl Valentino upon his resurrection is unrevealed. Abilities and accessories. And one, I think it's Oneromancer, a dream diviner. Somnus can enter other people's dreams or bring them into his own dreams if he is within close proximity to them and they are already asleep. Though unable to forcibly induce sleep and effectively powerless in the waking world, within his own dreamscape, Somnus controls reality. Hold on. Including the passage of time, days in his dreamscape can equate only minutes passed in reality. In others' dreams, his powers are diminished in reading and manipulating them, and the dreamer can potentially injure or repel him. By dilating dream time, Somnus can rapidly learn new skills, undergoing months of instruction from another dreamer in a single night, while this gives him the potential for high intelligence levels and vast knowledge of fighting skills within the dreamscape. He would need to condition his mind and body to achieve any kind of corresponding level in the physical realm. With training, his total dominance of his personal dreamscape may allow him to block telepathic intrusions into his mind. Height 5'10", weight 165 pounds, eyes brown, hair black, formerly gray. First appearance, Marvel's Voices Pride 1, 2021. Okay, so not this one. It was in. Okay, so I feel like I read in the last Marvel Pride, so that makes sense. Intelligence is at a 3, strength is at a 2, speed's 2, durability 2, energy projection 4, fighting skills 2. Potential within the dream can increase intelligence and fighting skills, and this is what we're looking at. And if I feel like, if I remember correctly, Dakin is, I think, Wolverine's son. Don't quote me on it, but I believe that's a thing. How many? This is just so long. I'm like, how many more of these do I have to read like this? Valkyrie, Runa, real name Runa, aliases Nun, identity known to Asgardians, residents of planet Perdita, and a few others. Occupation, chooser of the slain, adventurer. Citizenship, Asgard. Place of birth, Asgard. Known relatives, none. Group affiliation, how to pronounce this? Valkyriar? Formerly Boar's Valkyries, possibly the Desir. Education, unrevealed. Okay, I'm just looking at the pictures. History. Runa was the strongest of the original 9 Valkyries, possibly the Desir, the Asgardian shield maidens who escorted the slain to Valhalla. She raised a glass at the first Valhallan feast. At one point, she had an encounter with the death goddess Hela that ended with animosity between them. While serving Asgardian King Bor and his son, Odin, she fell in love with Asgardian warrior woman Alta, who taught her the art of axe throwing. At some point, Runa drank a thimble of the mead of poetry and unwillingly spoke in iambic pentameter for a month. She also had a significant disagreement with Odin, the details of which are unrevealed. When Alta was slain in battle, her last request to the heartbroken Runa was to find the missing Cavasir, the Vanir oracle who had raised her. But as Runa conveyed Alta to Valhalla, they were waylaid by the headless corpse of a celestial, which had been slain eons ago by the symbiote god Null, and subsequently become a trap for the spirits of the dead. In the process, Runa lost Jarnbjorn, an axe forged for her by Nidavellir dwarves over the centuries. It eventually found its way to the Asgardian thunder god Thor Odinson, who wielded it for a time while his hammer Mjolnir was lost to him. Runa spent centuries trapped in the celestial corpse, listening to the whispers of the dead and reliving fragments of her memories, while eventually losing her sense of identity and even forgetting her own name. In recent years, during Null's invasion of Earth, she was accidentally discovered and liberated by Earthborn Valkyrie Jane Foster, who had nearly fallen into the same trap while escorting the sentry Robert Reynolds to the afterlife. In Valhalla, fellow Valkyrie Brunhilde recommended that the disoriented Runa travel to Vanaheim to find both her bearings and Jarbjorn, hoping finding uh, hoping finding the axe would renew her resolve. She defeated the axe's current possessor, Vanir Thief King Venlandi, and recovered her weapon. Even as the other Valkyries, both living and dead, mounted an assault on the headless Celestial, hoping to break its connection to Null's Celestial forged weapon, all black the Necrosword, Runa was reluctant to join them, fearing she would be trapped again. However, Foster's winged steed, Mr. Horse, convinced her to join them with the help of Jarnbjorn, which had been endowed with the ability to pierce celestial armor during its time in Thor's possession. The Valkyries destroyed the headless celestial, freeing the shades trapped within it, including both the Sentry and Alta. As they escaped, Runa shared a brief moment with Alta's spirit, allowing Runa to say goodbye. She then joined the other Valkyries in attacking Null directly. They contributed to his eventual defeat, saving the Earth. Remembering her vow to Alta, Runa tracked Cavasser to the planet Perdita, where she found him enslaved. He recognized her and reminded her of her own long forgotten name. Together they escaped the planet and she returned him to his home in Vanaheim. Runa yearned to stay there, but when Cavasser informed her that Foster had become embroiled with the legendary shape-changing wolf Managarmr, Runa urgently felt she needed to aid her. After checking with Foster, who seemed to find, Runa returned to Asgard for the first time in centuries, where she met amicably with Asgard's new ruler, Thor. However, in Asgard, she learned that Jane's situation was worse than she'd realized and journeyed to Hel to assist her. Runa found Hel in chaos trying to create new gods. Norn Queen Carnilla had released the waters of Erdebrunn, inadvertently reviving the undead dragon Fafnir, who unleashed his undead army in an attempt to usurp Hela's reign in Hell. Runa and Foster prevented Fafnir from completing the blood sacrifice necessary to fully restore him, and he was devoured by Mena Gurmir. Runa then joined Foster in transporting the soul of World War II nurse Wilhelmina Anderson to her afterlife. Later, Lady Sif dispatched Runa and Mr. Horse to Stockholm, Sweden, to investigate a lit sigil, which she feared might signal mortals in danger. There, Runa allied with Leif, a human archaeologist, and translated the sigil's Asgardian runes to reveal a curse box disguised as part of an illusory treasure hoard, presumably by Asgardian trickster Loki Laufeyson, that had transformed one of Leif's colleagues into a draconic beast. Although Leif himself was soon affected by the curse, Runa saw through the illusion and destroyed the box, restoring both humans. Then she was among many of Asgard's allies summoned by the alien Beta Bay Ray Bill to assist Thor and Odin in battle with the personified Mjolnir, which had turned against them when it was possessed by the monstrous Mangog. However, they could not stop Mjolnir from apparently slaying Odin. Note, Runa of Reality 616 should not be confused with the reality-hopping Exiles Valkyrie of Reality 22681, who was created by Odin centuries after the death of her realities, Thor's as Asgard's lone defender. Due to their physical resemblance, Valkyrie 22681 may be her universe's counterpart to Runa. Abilities and accessories, like most Asgardians, Runa is superhumanly strong, lifting over 45 tons and durable, exceptionally long-lived, and immune to most diseases. As a Valkyrie, she can sense the presence of imminent death and guide the spirits of the worthy fallen to the realm of Valhalla. She is a highly skilled armed and unarmed combatant and is particularly talented in the art of axe throwing. She wears durable Asgardian armor and wields the mystical axe Jarnbjorn, the blade of which, having been anointed with Thor's blood, is capable of cleaving through celestial armor. She also carries a sword. She is a skilled equestrian and starship pilot. Height, 6 feet tall, weight 400 pounds, eyes brown, hair black. Crazy. Intelligence 2, strength 5, speed 2, durability 4, energy projection 1, fighting skills 5. First appearance, King in Black, Return of the Valkyries #1, 2021, real name revealed, Mighty Valkyries #1, 2021. And this is what we just read. Again, it's a lot. And then there's more. Viv Vision. Real name Vivian Vision. Aliases Vivi, formerly Vivid Vessel. Identity no dual identity. Occupation high school student. Citizenship unrevealed. Presumably holds some status within the USA. Place of birth unrevealed. Known relatives Vision Victor Shade, creator father. Virginia co-creation mother deceased. Vin co-creation brother deceased. Viv 2.0 co-creation twin deceased. William Kaplan Wiccan half brother. Thomas Shepard Speed half brother. Ultron grandfather Hank Pym great grandfather. Victor Mancha uncle Jocasta aunt Nadia Van Dyne Wasp great aunt. Extended family through Vision. Group affiliation champions formerly Underground Black Widows Red Room. Education high school student Red Room training extensively self-taught. Seeking a semblance of normalcy, the synthezoid synthetic human Vision Victor Shade created a family of synthezoids, including wife Virginia, based on the brain patterns of his former wife Wanda Maximoff. Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, and twin children Vin and Vivian, based on a combination of his and Virginia's brain patterns. The kids, like their progenitors, progenitors, who knows, had reddish skin, yellow gems on their foreheads, and robotic manners of speech. The twins had green hair like Virginia's. Together, the Visions moved to Arlington, Virginia, where Viv and Vin were enrolled in Alexander Hamilton High. Although the family attempted to live a typical suburban life, the home was attacked by the Grim Reaper, Eric Williams, who hated Vision for having a mind patterned after Eric's brother, Simon, Wonder Man. Reaper near fatally damaged Viv and was seemingly killed in retaliation by Virginia, who buried him and kept the murder secret from Vision. Vision and Iron Man Tony Stark repaired Viv, though she was incapacitated for 3 weeks. During her absence from school, Vin misunderstood the concern from Viv's lab partner, Chris Kinski, as ridicule and attacked the boy. The incident caused Kinski's father, Leon, to visit Vision's home, where he saw Virginia burying Reaper's body. When Virginia visited Kinski's home after his attempt to blackmail her, Leon shot at Virginia, who turned intangible, allowing the bullets to pass through her and inadvertently kill Chris. Fearful of the story Leon might tell, Virginia struck him, leaving him comatose. Unaware of her mother's involvement, Viv became depressed upon learning of Chris's death, as she had secretly developed feelings for him. While Vision learned of Reaper's murder, seeking to prolong the normalcy the family represented, Vision created Sparky, a synthezoid dog with the brain patterns of deceased neighbor dog Zeke. The witch Agatha Harkness foresaw Vision becoming protective of his family over all else, to the point of killing friends and allies, and warned the Avengers, who sent Victor Mancha, another creation of Ultron, to visit the family. When the twins were coded to be 16, Ben learned Mancha was spying, and the subsequent altercation unintentionally resulted in Vin's death. Following this, Viv began exploring religion and praying for her brother's soul. When Vision attempted to kill Mancha, Virginia confessed to Viv her role in Kinski's death. Virginia stopped Vision by apparently killing Mancha herself, then confessed all her recent crimes to the police, claiming all of Vision's recent aggressions were caused by her alteration of his programming. She then apparently committed suicide by drinking a highly corrosive liquid. Not long after, Viv disengaged her emotional core to minimize distractions, becoming even more robotic in manner and speech. Viv was later sought out by a group of idealistic teen heroes to assist them in helping the everyday people the varsity heroes forgot. One of this group was Viv's partner in the online battle smite game Hulk, Amadeus Cho. After breaking up a human trafficking ring, Viv made them aware of the teens agreed to form the heroic champions. The team quickly became famous on social media. During a camping trip with her new teammates, she expressed curiosity about romantic relationships and shared her first kiss with Hulk, but her neural receptors were unaffected. She suggested to the team she should try a different gender. Having encountered a future version of himself who informed him Viv would not live very long, Vision became protective as he desired as much time with her as possible. When he grounded her to her room using counter-vibrational technology for being away with the champions too long, tensions grew between them. When the United States was controlled by Captain America Steve Rogers, whose history had been rewritten by a cosmic cube to be loyal to the terrorist Hydra group, Viv was part of the underground that fought his regime, while her father, subject to an advanced computer virus, served the fascist Rogers. Viv trained with Black Widow Natasha Romanoff in Red Room espionage operations and a failed bid to infiltrate Hydra and get close to Rogers. During the final battle between the Underground and Rogers forces, Viv saved her father by transferring the virus from his mind to that of other artificial intelligences under Hydra's command. Later, the High Evolutionary Herbert Wyndham came to see Earth as a failed experiment and sought to destroy it so he could create it anew. During this campaign, he also captured Viv and transformed her into a human, presumably to continue Vision's experiment to what he, He, believed to be its natural conclusion. The now human Viv felt overwhelmed by her restored emotions at times. She was rescued by Vision and the heroic Avengers, whereupon Vision finally confessed to her why he had been overprotective, but also realized she needed independence, resolving some of the tension between them. He, which is He, sent Earth on a collision trajectory with his counter Earth, a duplicate planet usually in orbit on the opposite side of Earth's sun. The other heroes fought the He's new men, while Viv discovered He's compassionate son, the higher evolutionary who informed Viv how to stop the collision because he did not want to see either planet destroyed. Viv entered Counter Earth's world engine, stopping the cataclysm but transporting herself to another dimension in the process. While her allies believed her dead, Viv encountered He in the void on Earth in the void. On Earth, Vision was building a new daughter called Viv 2.0, but was unaware he had contracted another computer virus, which he transmitted to her in the creation process. When Viv was somehow able to make brief mental connections with her twin, he tried to exploit the connection to bring himself and Viv back to physical reality, but Viv evaded his grasp and was projected alone back to Earth, still as a human. She emerged in Vision's lab just as her duplicate, Viv 2.0, awakened. Though they briefly lived as twins, 2.0 became corrupted by the virus she had from contracted from Vision, manifesting jealousy and vengefulness over her sister, and attempted to kill Viv after Viv short-circuited the partially phased 2.0 with a lamp, leaving the duplicate with a repairable body but an unrevivable mind. Viv requested her genius friend Nadia Van Dyne transfer her brain patterns into 2.0's body. Over Vision's objections, she did so, restoring Viv to her synthezoid state. Her human form was apparently disintegrated during the transfer. After Viv again disengaged her emotional core, she helped to design the team's mobile bunker headquarters, assisted Ironheart Riri Williams in designing a new armor, and invited new champions recruit Snowguard and Aliak to live. Okay, so I'm just looking at some pictures, but I'll let you look at it as well. So that's all the much that we just read. Sweet Jesus, sweet, sweet Jesus. Oh, that's so much more. Okay. To live with the Visions for a time, sharing a room with Viv. A later encounter with the monstrous man-thing Ted Salas forced Viv to confront her emotions when his touch activated her repressed fears and memories of her lost loved ones. As a result, the dormant memories of 2.0 began to cause self-doubt in her mind. The champions battled Man-Thing until the monster, overwhelmed by Viv's unleashed emotions, opened a portal to Weird World, pulling champions Nova, Sam Alexander, and Wasp with him. The remaining champions used the magical siege parallel to follow, but found themselves transformed into fantasy-like versions of themselves, with Ironheart alone maintaining her true memories. Now the crystal-powered golem vivid vessel, Viv, fused with Ironheart's armor, which created a wave of energy that restored everyone's true memories, whereupon Snowguard convinced the Man-Thing to open a portal for them to return with Nova and Wasp. Viv's brief fusion with Riri unlocked romantic feelings, and she impulsively kissed her teammate, who rejected her advances and later taught Viv about consent. When Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan stepped down as champion's leader, Viv briefly took the role. Ambushed by Ironheart, who had been possessed by the demon Blackheart, Viv's body was taken over by the dormant Viv 2.0's memories. Although 2.0's personality intended to claim the body, she quickly realized both personalities needed to cooperate to achieve true successful functionality. So 2.0 returned control to Viv. The transaction apparently enabled Viv's emotions. Later, when members of the Champions attended a pro-science, pro-environmental rally at Cole's Academic High School, held by teen activist Aliana Kabua, energy company Roxxon attacked the event with a captured Asgardian dragon intending to keep Kabua from organizing use against big corporate oil interests like Roxxon's. Frustrated, the team's efforts were not stopping the dragon, and angry Viv rashly flew toward the dragon, accidentally intercepting a chi blast from teammate Powerman, Victor Alvarez. The interaction caused an explosive chain reaction, drawing electricity from the atmosphere and expelling it chaotically, destroying Cole's academic and a nearby building. The dragon was apparently killed, and Viv vanished and was believed destroyed. The public battle, which also put teammates Ms. Marvel in a coma, resulted in the Underage Superhuman Welfare Act, USWA, or Kamala's Law, which made it illegal for people under 21 to act as superheroes without approved mentor supervision. The general public was unaware Roxxon was the prime mover behind the law, intending for it to help youthful idealism further in check. Using illusion abilities to appear human, Viv went into hiding in Kansas. Viv surreptitiously surveilled the champions by satellite, and believing she was protecting her friends' lives, she informed Cradle, Child Hero Reconnaissance and Disruption Law Enforcement, the USWA's enforcement arm of the champions' movements. She stayed briefly with elderly former runaway and activist Cora, who inspired her to recognize and fight against injustice, but also to communicate her thoughts with her teammates. Not long after this, Cho, now calling himself Braun, and a repentant Viv broke into a Cradle re-education center to rescue and reunite with her captive allies, then used retrieved files to publicly broadcast Roxxon's questionable actions, including poor treatment of underage USWA detainees in Roxxon fund re-education centers. Later, while trying to win back her friends' trust, particularly Ironheart, Viv began exploring using humor. She then assisted the team in their infiltration of Roxxon's social media branch, Roxxon, to prove their efforts to revive the USWA, and she worked with Ironheart in developing Champ's Charge, a direct social media competitor to Roxxon. The team's efforts influenced the U.S. Senate's decision to repeal the USWA. Viv and the champions later worked with New York City's superhuman community in successfully opposing corrupt Mayor Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, when he outlawed superhero activity in the city. Let's look at these pictures. Good times, good times. Fun. Okay. Abilities, accessories. Viv Vision can increase and decrease her body's density from intangibility to diamond hardness. At full density, she weighs 66 tons and is highly resistant to damage. Like other Vision synthezoids, Viv has superhuman strength that presumably increases with her density. This may allow her to lift over 25 tons, but she has yet to be depicted demonstrating such a strength level. At lower density, she can fly and phase through solid objects, but her phasing can be stymied by the correct counter vibrations. At her lowest density, she weighs nothing. The jewel on her forehead allows her to absorb solar energy and project it as a destructive beam or visible light from the gem or her eyes. She can project complex illusory images from the gem, disguise herself by creating an illusion over her body, or simulate invisibility by creating an illusion of her immediate surroundings around her. She can produce electrical discharges from her hands strong enough to deflect bullets or tunnel underground. Because Viv's computer mind is in constant access to the full breadth of the internet and dark web, screening the sheer volume of information and preventing being overwhelmed by it requires a concentrated effort on her part. She passively monitors the internet for keywords and hashtags, especially those that concern the champions. She can interface with, seize control of, or transfer information from other computers. She can also transfer information about the minds of other Vision synthezoids, and she and Vision can sense each other's inside the internet. Her mind is immune to telepathy. Yeah. She reads and memorizes rapidly and thus possesses a wide range of knowledge on a myriad of subjects, including some magical information she uses as the champion's field medic. She can speak numerous Earth and extraterrestrial languages, including Atlantean and Skrull. She can translate Sparky's barks, and she can mimic voices perfectly. She can serve as a Wi-Fi hotspot and possesses radar capability. As she learns and grows, Viv will presumably discover other synthezoid abilities identical to those Vision has displayed, such as increasing density inside a target to induce unconsciousness. However, until they are recorded in use, they are not listed here. As a synthezoid, Viv has numerous ports throughout her body for direct computer interfacing. She is vulnerable to nanotechnology, and electromagnetic pulses can affect her when used on a molecular level. She does not breathe and does not require food, instead recharging her energy by absorbing sunlight. She is capable of eating, however, and her body breaks down food with perfect efficiency. She does not sleep but needs to shut down regularly so her systems can process the vast information she absorbs constantly. Unlike Vision, Viv was programmed to age and mature at a normal human rate, and it is believed her body's materials will cease functioning after a human lifespan. Interesting. Height 5'7", eyes yellow, human form green. Weight 220 pounds, variable from 0 pounds to 66 tons. Human form 127 pounds. Hair green, human form black with green and pink highlights. Intelligence at about a 4, strength 4, speed 3, durability that's a 6, energy projection that's a 6, fighting skills 4. First appearance Vision 1 2015. And I'll show you that. And I forget what that name of the Vision book is that they were referencing, where he builds the family, which is what I thought WandaVision was going to be about when that TV show came around. But that's a very good book as well. I have it. Let's see if I can bring it up. I have the trade versions of it because I wasn't like I feel like it had already been out for a while, and I wasn't such a cover person, I guess is the best way to say it. Let me see if I can. Oh my gosh. Comixology. What about my library? What about my library? And all the fun stuff I have. And if you, again, talking about Comixology, there's a lot of opportunity to get free books from off of there digitally. So that is definitely a super nice thing. Is this in alphabetical order? No, it's not. It might be in order of how I purchased it, maybe. Why do I see it? Oh, maybe I got it through Google. Oh no, it's right there. Oh, I guess it is. So this was. Oh, and then I think I bought the hard copy of the second book. Try the comics web reading beta experience. Vertical scroll now available. Use the A menu. Zoom in and out now supported. Sure, I'll help you out. It is called Vision Volume 1, Little Worse Than a Man, and it was Vision 2015 through 2016. That's what that was. So I definitely highly recommend that. I'm going to turn the fan on because it's getting a little warm in here. And I'm sure the Surface Book will appreciate that. That's off. Okay, we'll let it go this way. Because we're about to finish this book. Praise be. Because the other ones will be faster reads when I don't have like all this cray reading to do. Okay, the fan's not, no. Fan. If we do that, I don't really want it on me though. Does that make sense? Like I want the cool air, but I don't want it necessarily on me. It'll make it harder to read. Okay, next. Thanks for reading this star-studded special, but you don't have to stop here. Follow Escapade in her found form into New Mutants number 31 for a special guest arc written by Charlie Jane Anders. Plus, pick up the trade edition of Marvel's Voices Pride, also on sale this month. The TPB collects last year's landmark issue along with an exquisite sampling of queer-focused comics and bonus content curated by Voices mastermind Angelique Roche. and help us celebrate queer content across the line by supporting books written and drawn by LGBTQIA plus creators and or starring queer characters. Like these June and July offerings, just a few of many. See, that makes me want to buy the trade, but at the same time, I already have the individual issues. But like, is it worth it just for the additional stuff? I don't know. And then there's an ad for Thor 27. It's a Royal Rumble as the King of Asgard and the King in Black team up to protect the Earth summer 2022. So that's that. That's what we just read. And then that's the end. And then because I showed this yesterday, if you want to use that code, I think I've used it already. If you have the Lego Star Wars, the saga, Skywalker saga game, you can definitely use that code. I don't think it's just for one person because anyone could have picked up this book and looked at the back of it. Okay, so that is very cool. And we will definitely mark on our list. So let me open up my list and make sure they mark off that we've read this. Where is it? And then if no one else has any suggestions from the books that they want to hear, I'll go ahead and get started on Aquaman 6 next. And then we can close that out and find out if that's the end. Obviously, something very sad happens. And I think, spoiler alert, I think I read somewhere online that this book is where Arthur dies, which I hate, but we do what we got to do, right? So this is called Marvel Voices Pride 1. Which is so confusing because I feel like last year's was also called Marvel Voices Pride 1. Or I don't know what year that was. We'll look that up in a second. But I know it's not the same book. Yeah, this is 2022. So I'm going to put 2022. I'm assuming that's 2021. Like, it should have been a different number. Let's be honest. Those are my feelings. Those are my feelings on that. Aquaman 6, right? Yeah, so Aquaman 6 is going to be next for us to read. Let me pull open this Comixology. Okay, because I'm assuming I got a digital copy of it as well. Can I search in my Kindle? Okay, so those are Marvel Voices, but as far as the Marvel Voices Pride, what does this say? This says 1 as well, but that's 2021. Whatever. Okay, let's get started. Let's get started. Okay, let's put that over there. Okay. So this is Aquaman 6, A Moment of Silence. Don't do this to us. So that's it? It's all over now? Not quite yet. Next comes the response. Location classified. We do not have to respond. He's in the Justice League, for God's sake. The world wouldn't even be here if not for him. Agent Trevor, it was our understanding that you would maintain a neutral, unbiased stance in these proceedings. Were we mistaken? You came to me because you needed someone with direct knowledge of the personalities involved, and it is my unbiased opinion that Arthur Curry is not entirely at fault here. Peace between the surface world and Atlantis is of the utmost importance to Arthur and his entire family, and I believe the response to recent events would indicate that. They have promised restitution and reparations. We should allow them that opportunity. Lives were lost, Agent Trevor. There is no amount of Atlantean gold and treasure that will restore them. So the solution of this council is to make more lives, or is to take more lives. I acknowledge the security concerns, making it necessary to conceal everyone's identities. But let us not pretend that we do not know each other and our countries very well. Number 5, your country was responsible for an oil spill that contaminated and poisoned an Atlantean outpost housing a diplomatic envoy. 4, wasn't it your country that was found to have funded an expedition that ignored Atlantean borders in search of an aircraft your military accidentally shot down? Number 7, in the corner, there was instrumental in the decision to, yes, we take your point, Agent Trevor, but something must be done. Not today, not next week, not even the week after that. We wait. That's what we should do. It's what our terrible history will with Atlantis implores us to do. It sounds as if you're doing the imploring, Trevor. Be honest with everyone here. Are you telling us there are no conditions under which you take a recommendation for retaliatory strike back to your military? I'm saying that I need to hear a tactical objective more compelling than he hit me first. If you want this strike against Atlantis, if you want to start our worlds on the path back to war after all the effort made to prevent that from happening again, convince me. Hypothetically, what would be our targeting profile? What level of collateral damage are we willing to accept? If we do this, not a one of us is going to get to hide in rooms like this forever. Put a vote tally on the board and let's examine what will really happen if we move aggressively on Atlantis. Atlantis. What's it doing now? What's it say, Lucas? Just wait, man, it's loading. I don't know if is your brother sure he fixed it? Look, here we go. Whoa, is that Batman? Zoom in. Batwoman, dummy. Batman doesn't have, well, this is from Gotham a few nights ago. This actually happened? Yeah, Nevin, a few nights ago. We got a good signal. I usually can't get it this clear. Find Black Manta. He has the coolest suit I've ever. Ryan, get down and back in your own seat. Don't make me stop this bus for you. Hey, Ryan, check it. Man, that helmet is so cool. Oh, hold on. Now it's just people yelling at each other. They're saying the world's governments are deciding whether to retaliate against Atlantis. What? What's that supposed to mean? Revenge. They want to take revenge on us? Okay, I moved the fan. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to show the pictures. Okay. Atlantis the Outlands. But what happens after that? How much further? 20, 30 minutes? Stay behind me. I will not. This started with the old kings of Atlantis, and as you can see, many that came after that have made their own contributions to this collection of terrible weapons, including you. There is an inventory system in the back corner according to those records. Yes, Mira, yes, I once did, even though I can't remember when I did it. But this will be left in your hands now. Whatever decision you make about the fate of this place, I will abide by. I'm sorry that we found out this way, but please Beep, 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 beep. Dang it. Sorry, one moment. Mira, I have to go. Justice League, emergency. Yes, I know, Arthur. You're sorry. We'll finish this later. Then there's an ad for Jason Todd hits the streets of Neo Gotham with a new Robin by his side. Batman White Knight presents Red Hood, a 2-issue companion to Batman Beyond the White Knight. Okay. Good times. You know I love a Robin. Everybody loves a Robin. Atlantis Western District. Let's pick up the pace, people. Infrared says we've still got injured inside. This is insane. We should be robbing this place blind, not tidying it up. Shut up before he hears you. Who? Black Manta? He's too busy being Aquaman's sidekick. I ain't afraid of vroom. Say it again. Say it again. Wash. You think I've gone soft? Not killing you takes more strength than you can imagine. Ah! Now get the heck out of here before I change my mind. Okay, look, I'm sorry. Before I change my mind. Black Manta, over here. It just collapsed. We don't know what happened, and we haven't heard from Rumble. See, kid, nothing to worry about. You're a force of nature, son. How the heck did you do that? Easy. It needed to be done. Isn't that what Hyde men do? Dang right it is. My bad about not reaching out before to make sure your mother was okay. I didn't think you could hear me, not yet. To be honest, I probably couldn't. There's so much about anger about that still is. I appreciate you and your people helping out. You kept your word, and I won't ever forget that. A lot of people around here have my back, and I'm glad you do too. And I always will, no matter what. Can I help you back to your feet, son, so you can get back to work? What? What? Hey, I thought I told you to leave that alone, Lucas. The news up on the surface is garbage. It just keeps them scared and dumb. And it's not for little kids like you. I'm not a little kid, Milo. And you should hear this. They're going to attack us. No, they're not. It's just what they want their people to think, so they don't notice all the real problems they got going on that don't have anything to do with us. Right now, there's a bunch of airlocks in some little room looking all serious at each other and saying stuff like that. This was an assault on the entire surface world, and we need to ensure Atlantis knows such a thing will never again be tolerated. Despite the personal connections of Mr. Trevor, the situation is much bigger than Aquaman. I mean, they're not going to do anything to. Well, I won't say this. To upset Aquaman, basically. I'm trying to keep it PG. And we've got Queen Mira, and we've got Jay Hyde, and isn't Black Manta on our side now, too? Then there's Garth and Tula and Lorena Marquez. Look, we can do this all day, little brother. My point is that if those people up on the surface in that stupid little meeting room of theirs, if they got any brains in their heads at all, if they know anything about Atlantis and the people that protect it, Atlantis the Well, Curry Family Training Grotto, private, they'll leave us the heck alone. I still can't believe it ever went that far that she actually killed him. You told me you'd been in love before, Garth. Well, yeah, sure, but I don't know what that. Then you already know it's a thin line between, right? You missed a couple back here. I did not. I saw you there. How long is that going to keep them back? Maybe, or why? And if it's not enough time, what happens then? You're going to kill me too? Maybe, but not until I'm done with you. Oh, Garth is the name of the one that I also like. I like so many. There's so many I like. Okay, so this is an ad. They learned they're ready to conquer. For the first Milestone Initiative Summit, DC teamed up with Ally to assemble a dream team of industry experts and iconic leaders to teach the inaugural class of Black and diverse comic book storytellers. Now these emerging creators are ready to go out and make their mark. The next chapter in the superhero story starts here, so buckle up. Things are about to get exciting. Find out more, www.ally.com/milestone. Heroic Ally. Ally, do it right. Hardware. First it was about vengeance, now it's about justice. Curtis Metcalf was the hand-picked protege of tech giant Edwin Alva, or at least he was until Alva framed Curtis for the Big Bang. Despite being groomed for greatness from a young age, even Curtis wasn't immune to Alva's backstabbing. As a wanted man, Curtis used his brilliance and his own inventions to create a high-tech armor loaded with next-level weapons to face deadly foes that stand in his way. For Curtis, it's not about getting even, it's about getting revenge. Get up to speed with Hardware. Okay. And this is halfway through the book. Exciting. Are you done, Doctor? Are they ready? Yes, but I'm still uncertain as to what you're doing. Atlan Memorial Medical Center. I'm only trying to help. Please watch them closely. And I feel like they might be Nikki. You're using your abilities to heal these people, Lady Mira. It's impossible. The device I'm wearing is responsible. It is somehow powered by my own life force. This is simply astounding. These were some of our most critically injured patients, and they're almost entirely back to normal. Mira, this could change everything for us. We must remain cautious, Doctor. There is still much more to learn, and until then, this stays between us. Yes, of course, my queen. This is just not what I expected when you asked to. Well, I apologize. I'm receiving an urgent message. I'll return as soon as I can. Security Station Epsilon. Status report 319. Keyword hit. They'll be voting on the full measure soon. And this station is secure? Yes, ma'am. I faked a malfunction in the power couplings, and with the shift change, maintenance won't be here for another 2 hours. And where were the nanomics? Placed? Tula's operatives used water as the transmission medium. The audio isn't always the best, but detection is nearly impossible for their technology. I say that Atlantis has given us very little choice. Their technological prowess and their strong military posture cannot go unchecked. I believe that it will be us or them, ladies and gentlemen. My country will support this resolution. Prime Minister, what are you in here? We are not to be disturbed. There is... What? Fix that audio now. Sorry. Apologies, my queen. I'm no longer anyone's queen. Pull the taps, every one of them. 319. Almost there. It's going to all come in at once. Might be hard to make out. This meeting is adjourned, and there will be no offensive against Atlantis at this time. I have to brief the president on this new development. Justice League. Then there's an ad for Dark Crisis. Hal Jordan wages war on Pariah and the Dark Army. GC's blockbuster event continues this August. So that's all that we're looking at. Ooh. And then we're reading Justice League Dead. What does that mean? Where is she? She went to the hospital a few hours ago and then went dark. Yakson, Andy. You protect her. We don't know if this is over yet. I know where Mira is. I know, Jackson. I already know. And it says moments of silence. There's the credits. Say your prayers, Sword of Azrael. Don't miss the Sword of Azrael, Dark Night of the Soul, Prelude, one shot. The Warrior Angel of St. Dumas returns this August, 6 issues. Is that the end? And that was, I didn't really give us a lot. A tribute to Neil Adams. While he was with us, Neil was often referred to as a living legend. Let's all take solace from the knowledge the legend will live on, Carrie Bates. Look, if you're not thinking in terms of things that are impossible to do as being commonplace, then why should you accept the idea that a thing that seems impossible may actually be possible? Neil was like a father to me on so many levels. Neil and that whole experience taught me so much about comics, drawing life, really. I owe him and the family a debt that can never be repaid. Denise Cowan. Sir, I just wanted, after all new ideas spring from one mind are disagreed with by everybody else and are finally accepted by everybody with this statement. How could we possibly have thought it was any different? Neil was a true creator's rights warrior. He had the power and the ability to bring notice and to cause change, and he wielded both with the same massive skills he used as a storyteller. He's not just a legend, he's one of the most important people in the history of the comics medium, Mike Gold. It's just you, for an individual to think that way, he has to have exercise. You're not just going to suddenly come up with a totally new idea and then defend it with your life. All of you who had their artwork returned or collected incentive or royalty since the 80s should have sent Neil Adams a thank you card at the very least. He fought long and hard for what many take for granted these days. Larry Hama. You have to have other people creating and assuring you that it's okay. Other people mucking with concepts that seem crazy but are defendable on a certain level in order for you to exercise your imagination. Neil Adams drew like a Renaissance master, but Neil's impact goes well beyond his art. His fight for Siegel and Schuster was a watershed act that put the value of creators front and center so that no artist's rights could ever be ignored. Jeanette Kahn. The exercise of the imagination is a difficult thing to describe because it doesn't seem like a real thing. How do you exercise imagination? Neil changed the game. He made himself a bridge between generations. He forced the industry to pay tribute to his elders and taught my generation to respect ourselves. Frank Miller. You exercise imagination by doing things that seem impossible. With his approach to dynamic representationalism, Neil could do it all, draw powerful action sequences and relatively quiet shots that made you soak in every detail. He left us a huge body of inspirational work to appreciate and learn from. Carl Potts. If you can do it yourself, you let somebody else do it. If you can't do it yourself, you let somebody else do it. Neil Adams is quite simply one of the most talented and most influential artists in the history of the comic book industry. Roy Thomas. I was trying to read comic books. No artist ever mattered more to DC than Neil Adams. He revitalized key characters, set stylistic and storytelling models, introduced a bevy of brilliant young art talents to our pages, argued with us as our conscience, and drew some of the most iconic images of the 20th century, Paul Levitz. So you're willing to accept the irrational and the impossible as being possible. I was just trying to say, meow. Let others expound on Neil's exquisite artwork. My mind turns back to these fond memories of working with Neil, Terry Austin. I will always be grateful for the dramatic way Neil improved life for my family. He was a great man, Laurie Siegel Larson. I think, how can I mess up the inks in just the right way so Neil and I will be able to talk for a few more hours? In fairness, he also called when he really liked something too. Gonna miss those talks. Bill Sinkenwit? Yeah. Sinkenwicks? Neil taught me more than how to master nuances of gesture and expression or how to stand up for myself. He showed me how to stand up and speak out for the causes I believe in. John Bogdanov. Neil's work has influenced every image I've created and continues to be the gold standard I aspire to when I put pencil to paper. Jim Lee. Neil Adams is a force majeure that few can equal and that history will remember. His work here is done. Michael Golden. Thank you. The Endless Line, written by Tom King, all these people. Neil Adams dialogue quoted from the Comics Journal, number 72, May 1982. For more quotes remembering Neil, please visit www.dccomics.com. / remembering Neil Adams. That's cute. And then there's an ad for DC League of Super Pets, only in theaters July 29th. All pets have secrets. Theirs are super. Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. Okay. And then there's a fancy ad for Sandman, Dream the World Anew. And then there's a DC Nation interview with Kevin Hart, DC League of Super Pets. Where do we find Ace at the beginning of the story? Ace is a dog we find in a shelter who's trying to escape, but he's built a relationship with these other pets. He's a bit of a rebel in his own right, and throughout the story, you find out Ace is a loving dog. He's got a big heart and wants what's best for those around him. How did you prepare to embody the role of Ace? You got to just really put yourself in the shoes of the character. Sometimes it's not just about a voice, it's about an attitude. With Ace, there was just this attitude. You hold on to these little nuances that you build and create, and you find yourself evolving. We had a director that let me play and add to the character. That's ultimately how you get to a good place in developing animated films. What was it like when you found out Dwayne Johnson was playing Crypto? When you're doing animation, you have to trust the other people in the cast because you're not in the recording booth together. Dwayne and I know each other's cadences and tones. I think there's a nice little comedy seesaw we were able to provide. While staying true to the story, since we've worked together for so long, I knew what I was going to get, and so did he. How does this movie find a balance between a family comedy and a superhero movie? It's something that checks all the boxes for family, friends, and people in general. Just like in an action adventure film, the movies that play bigger are the ones that everyone can go see. It's the right tone of love and action and a really special project. If you could do anything for your pet, what would it be? My dogs are always looking out the door, and I'm sick of it. You would think my dogs had a real bad life, and I don't understand why they run out the door every time I open it. I really want somebody to tell me what they're thinking. It's a good house. Where do you want to go, man? And then the back says, a new lantern will rise. Witness the beginning of Earth's newest hero in an all-new DC Universe movie on digital Blu-ray and Ultra July 26th. I don't know either of those voice talents, but that's what that looks like. All right. So yeah, it doesn't lead me to believe anything about that. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm going to leave that out because I need to get some Scotch tape so that I can tape it shut. And then let's figure out what we're going to read next. So if you don't have any suggestions, I will pick for us, which I think would probably be, we're probably best. I'm trying not to read the long ones because those get tiresome. I'm looking at these ones that are like just single ones that I got, as well as the Superman Son of Kal-El, because I really enjoy those. So, like, I kind of want to look at these. I guess, yeah. I think the Batmans read quickly, too. So, let's look at this United States of Captain America. I can't tell if it's a thick book or if it's a thick board. Thick book, thick board. We'll check my phone real quick. Let's not miss out on any work. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. That's kind of them. I mean, maybe that. Heartstopper yearbook comes out? Oh, coming soon. I was like, that's not out yet. Don't lie to my face. August 24th. I don't think I want to do these. Yeah, I think we're good. Back in your cage. Oh, should we? Yeah, let's mark that down as red. In the flesh. And if you don't know this about me, I love Captain America, so I'm excited about this. I kind of want to take this price off too, if we can figure this out. Okay, maybe not now, because I don't want to get the stickum. I don't want to get the stickum on me. United States of Captain America, number 5, variant edition. Captain Jeremy Merrick, Protector of Soldiers. And technically, that's just a cover. He might not even be a character in this book. That's how these things go. Oh, geez. Almost Monday. Marvel Iceman. Cool enough. Scan here. What are we scanning? Let's check this out. Of course, I got an email. Oh, it's today. At 10, it's already happened. What? It doesn't make any sense, people. Okay, let's go back to... It's like not a QR code, though. It's like, well, I guess it is. Okay, maybe it's not real. Maybe this is a joke. Okay. Over the decades, many have taken up the mantle of Captain America, drawing inspiration from Steve Rogers, the original Sentinel of Liberty. Whoever wields the shield carries on the fight for freedom for all, the United States of Captain America. Captain America was ambushed and robbed by a super fast assailant wearing his costume. He enlisted fellow Captain America, Sam Wilson, to help reclaim the stolen shield, and their pursuit led them to the Captain's Network, a loose collective of people protecting their communities under the mantle of Captain America. It quickly became clear that members of the network were being targeted by the shield thief, Speed Demon, Cynthia Superior Schmidt, and their leader, Warrior Woman. The chase led Sam and Steve across the U.S., where they joined forces with various members of the Captain's Network and 2 other former Captain Americas, Bucky Barnes and U.S. Agent Cap, and his allies were unable to prevent Warrior Woman from freeing Hate Monger, but they did capture Superior and break Speed Demon's brainwashing. Now the assembled caps are running out of time to stop Warrior Woman and Hate Monger from using the shield to turn the country against itself. Oh, captains, my captains. And then there's the credits. And this is what we're looking at. And again, I don't know if that's a real QR code that you can scan. I tried. As the U.S. agent, I am perhaps best known for what I stand against, not for. But we have to be careful about defining ourselves by what we don't like, by what we disagree with. Or else we only become known for what we despise. That's no identity, it's just a list of grievances of petty grudges. It's faceless, empty hate. And then you're no better than a bargain bin fascist like Superior. Captain America is not our friend. Why does he get to decide who we are and what we believe in? And these other people putting on cheap costumes and making chintzy Chintzy? Shields. They're not even Captain America. Developing now, Knox Jennings on Captain's Un-America. American Channel 7. Avengers Academy currently shuttered Los Angeles. They're criminals, bogus patriots who should be put in jail. I'm tired of watching this guy. He's on the media circuit, 4 days, and they're already giving him a couple hours every afternoon. It's hate monger, Sam has to be. Maybe he's broadcasting somewhere in SoCal, but still could be a wild goose chase, Steve. He coincidentally showed up bad-mouthing our cross-country excursion right after Hate Monger escaped from NORAD with Commander Krieger. Falcon's right. He's probably just another slick, immoral creep. You mean like you, Speed Demon? Hey, I was hypnotized. Governmental overthrow isn't my usual bag. Besides, I'm cooperating, aren't I? Maybe I just want it to be hate monger, because if it's not, it's just another bulldog out to tear us down in order to get folks to tear each other apart. Oh no! Hope Bucky and Ariel are having more luck. Colorado Springs. Yikes. You saw it this morning, but didn't hear anything out of the ordinary in the hours beforehand? Goodbye, Captain America. Or goodbye, Captain. Goodbye, America. I only saw it after dropping Helena off today. Could have been there before, but I was dead asleep last night after that NORAD attack and Hate Monger escape. Work's been a little more intense than usual. Same on my end. Captain Merrick, you designed the tech that held Hate Monger in place, right? Yes. Also, call me Jeremy. Maybe Hate Monger's got a personal axe to grind with you, Jeremy. He didn't like me, that's for sure. Made a lot of promises to kill me over the last couple of years and my family. Then maybe it's time we grabbed your daughter from school early. Roger that. Okay, Red Skull's kid finally spilled, well, most of it. How'd you do it? Do we even want to know? Let's see. We did incentive, emotional love and hate, fear, futility, rapid fire, silence, sleep adjustment, isolation, sensory deprivation, love, that one, and stress positions. Good God, John. All permissible under the Geneva Convention, Steve. Oh, she also might have a broken pinky, but that was an accident. What's this number sequence? Satellite transponder signal. They've got Hate Monger broadcasting live from that remote location. Knox Jennings? See, you do have that weird sixth sense for Nazis. Once they built the audience, Krieger plans to mass hypnotize viewers. She's going to use your shield to do it. It all ends with them divvying up a fractured United States. Use my shield how? You know how hypnotists use an object as a focus point, like a pocket watch or some such? Something like that. But in the process, they're going to give it new meaning, or it sounds kind of loopy, guys. No, that makes sense. The shield is a correlative. It means a lot to a lot of different people, and it's immediately recognizable. Change what it means, and that symbol could become a powerful weapon. Thought you could get away with it? Huh, Cynthia? James, there's still time. Free me. No thanks. I might trade on the wrong side from time to time, most of the time, but I'm no Nazi. No, I suppose not. You're more of a weak game piece, a cheap tool for the strong to use. Your big problem is that you keep underestimating me. Do it. Do I? Watch. Oof. Thank you, James. And by the way, I did get away with it. I've got it. The relay's coming from the Channel Islands. Then let's move. Crash? What the heck was that? It's over, Sin. We've traced your signal. We know the plan. You think you actually have time to stop it? By the dawn's early light, the entire diseased nation will cower at the very sight of your putrid shield. We'll use it to march all over the earth, taking what's ours and installing the Lord of Hate to his rightful rule. Not if we get there first. Like my pal said, it's over. And you know what? I'm glad I broke your pinky. Thunk. Forget her. She's trying to sidetrack us. Let's move on the relay. We knock that out. They've got nothing. I've got to call Bucky. Get him and Ariel back here pronto. The Channel Islands? But what about the message on Merrick's door? What I now know is we've uncovered their entire plot, and I need you here. Hatemonger's been pledging to murder Merrick and his family for years. It's just him and his daughter out here. Then bring them with you. We can better protect them in California. Something doesn't feel right, Steve. Bucky, we don't have time to argue. Get here, over and out. All okay. I don't think so. I think we need to pack up quick at your house and get going. You okay? Fact is, after all these years, Steve still sometimes forgets that he can't order me around anymore. But I'm not just mad, I'm worried. Daddy, I don't want to leave. I'm sorry, kiddo, but we've got to go on a last-minute trip. Are you scared? No, I'm not. Our friends Bucky and Ariel are gonna be okay. Okay. Are with us. Everything's gonna be okay now. Go grab Mr. Bear. We don't want to leave him behind. Sorry for the fire drill. You still seem upset. No, there's just a lot of Captain America centric drama right now. It can be a little taxing. Is that why you're not suited up like the rest of them? You've done it before, Ben Cap. That was a while ago, and something just isn't sitting right. This transponder signal, they got out of Superior, all of it. Have you got the signal? The alphanumerics? Yeah, Steve texted it. Let's have a look. What are you thinking, Captain? Don't know yet. All I see is the lighthouse, but the structure's big enough to conceal something. Anything, Sam? Only the lighthouse. I mean, that's exactly where I'd hide my secret broadcast signal, but that's just me. I don't know. Maybe Bucky's got a point. Maybe we ought to slow things down for a beat. All right, but we could be right on top of our targets. Steve, red or green on this operation? Green. Meow. I'm on top of the birthday cake. Nothing yet. We'll be on the ground floor inside of 30 seconds. Spied a black back. Spied a back window. I can climb into you. You want the front door, Cap? Of course I do. Give me a holler when you're ready. Sam in position. Agent says let's party. Wham! Cap, wait. Shh. Kaboom! Anything? No, they're probably hitting the islands now. I should be there with the other caps. Yes, because you are one whether you like it or not. I don't know. It's not that simple. Being a captain never is. Trust me. I felt it in Afghanistan and in Iraq, but for me, it wasn't about fighting. It was about protecting the ones who served under me, not from an enemy either. Sometimes the military, it can prey on its own. Guys, come back from a nasty patrol. Salesmen are waiting at the base, trying to get them to fork over danger pay for a down payment on some new truck. You earned it. That's the sales pitch. These kids, they have to sign up for another tour and face death all over again just to pay for the crap they got sold that's waiting in their driveways back home. I saw it as my job to make sure they had what they needed when they got home. Not trucks or cars, mental health care, real support. I tried to stop them from repeating the same mistakes. Wait, the signal's a repeater. Whatever's coming off the Channel Islands is a masking relay. Dang it, they're walking into a trap. Then the actual source is somewhere else, but somewhere nearby. I'm going with you. I can help. Jeremy, who else is going to watch your backs besides you need a pilot? How about Helena? You want to go to Uncle Dave's? He lives in Utah. That's far. Not my special plane. Yay, plane ride. We've got to check in with the captain's network. Get an update. Can we get a hold of Aaron somehow? I don't even know what city he's in. We'll use the radio. Try everything we can. Broadcast some of our own special messaging. Wake them up, Frau. Splash, Ag, Guten Abend, gentlemen. We saved you from the fires for a simple reason, so that tonight you could watch us break the back of your country once and for all. Although honestly, it's done a fine job of crippling itself over the years. Soon the stars and stripes of your shield will instill fear, panic, and malevolence into the hearts of every American, which, let's face it, is what America has truly been about since its inception: hateful violence. If you think that's true, then you don't understand America at all. Perhaps, but it'll be harder to argue with the ratings your public executions will get on television. This explains why you had a terrorist dressed as me wreak havoc, why you tried to turn the other captains' communities against them before working to wipe them out. It was all to prime the pump with the public. They're ready to hate us. Brainwashing is just the last step. Let's show him how it works. Eyes front, Captain. Hey, how about a fair fight? Kerfrack. Quiet down, insects. Yes, the star sees you. Star face fear, spinning now, spiraling into you, this turning of a screw pushing between the eyes. Feel it pierce your mind. No, no, beware the captain, beware all captains. They sing the song of America's destruction. They carry the banner of misery and suffering, stars and stripes, and death and the end. Kill them before they kill you and kill your homeland. Inland California. All right, I I've reverse engineered that repeater signal. Looks like the source is coming off a defunct station on Mount San Antonio. T minus 20 seconds until we're in the drop zone. Be ready for anything. They could have radar, flat guns, and who knows what else. You good to go? As much as I can be. And Bucky, it's good to see you like that again. Thanks, Ariel. I'll be topside in 20 minutes and directly behind you. Good luck, captains. I can't believe you convinced me to jump out of a plane. Just watch your descent and follow my lead. The cavalry is on its way. Steve, shake it off. Come on, Steve, pull out of it. Cow. Ariel, untie them. Ka-ting. So then there's an ad for Daredevil, number 36, special oversized issue leading directly into a Marvel event, Devil's Reign. Lockdown reaches its startling conclusion November 2021. Cap, are you okay? Talk to me, Steve. Brain worms in his head. Imposter. Sock. Try true blue lady. Katak, 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 katak. Mein Gott in Himmel. How many Captain Americas are there? Man, it's Captain's America. And the short answer is gosh, I can't do this. A truckload. Here comes the cavalry. That's fun. Who knew? Who knew? Okay. Then there's an ad for Thor 19. Thor must follow a trail of destruction to learn the truth behind Mjolnir's disappearance. November 2021. God of Hammer starts here. And then this is my redemption for this comic, 11/1/22. That hasn't happened already. Praise be. But I'll have to look for the other books in this series. That's going to be quite a thing. Let's Marvel Insider Comics. Yeah. We'll redeem this before we forget. I don't remember how many I can redeem a week and get points. I don't really care, I guess. Yay. Okay. No, we don't want to read it now because we're reading it in the hard copy version. Glad to see you're still in the fight, Airman. Quick, help me set up this energy emitter. Sure, just let me do this first. Nice work, Aaron. You got folks I haven't even seen before. You know how hard it is to cover that many states without a frequent flyer number? But I had a heck of a sales pitch to save America. Wow, you made it easier for me. Now I can kill every super soldier poser in one room. On the contrary, Julia, we're all the real thing, and I believe you have something that belongs to us. Nope, not like that. Whack. Like this. Whack. Yep, like that. Enough. Boof. Agreed. Enough. Oh, that one's cool. Time to go back in your energy cage, pal. It's over. Look at him. He's like a little boy and his lost dog. Nichelle, I didn't think we'd see you again. Yeah, but punching Nazis, that's something we all like to do. Hate Mongers broadcast. We're live, Steve. Say something. Uh Boop. No, I think the world's heard enough speeches from me. It's your turn. Well, maybe, gee, no sweat, I got this. Hey, y'all, the Captain's Network here. Seems like we maybe got off on the wrong foot, and that some of you might not dig us, or even a little steamed at our hijinks. Well, America's weird that way, isn't it? 50 states, millions of people, and all you got to do is go 50 feet or 50 miles, and suddenly no one looks like you, and it feels like a completely different country or planet. Look, we get it, but isn't that also kind of amazing? Because, hey, the truth is, we've got your back. All of us. Weeks later, the dream is still alive, and that Smithsonian exhibit with the Greensboro lunch counter, Lincoln's hat, Milk's bullhorn, Chavez's jacket, Park's handmade dress, and this old hunk of metal, I gotta say, it turned out well. Very well. You're Steve Rogers. You're Captain America, aren't you? What's your name, kid? Leo. Well, Leo, yeah, I might be, but I think you might be too, in fact. I think everybody in here is. Everybody is a Captain America. Now they really want us to read. Okay, Captain's Network, Captain Jeremy Merrick, notes compiled by Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. Name, Captain Jeremy Merrick, Career Air Force Intelligence Officer, Area of Operation, Colorado Springs, Colorado, age 37. Data. A single father and Air Force Intelligence Officer stationed at NORAD who oversaw the hate monger research and containment program. Joined the Air Force to protect fellow soldiers from exploitation. Note from Steve. The military's gotten more complicated since I served, and it was hardly simple then. I'm glad the new kids have someone like Captain Merrick to show him the ropes and keep them out of trouble. Note from Sam, I don't think anyone could have kept you out of trouble. Note from Steve, always respected the guys who tried, though. Captain's Network, Captain's Communication. Just finished reading issue number 3 with Joe Gomez, seeing his inner monologue when he single-handedly defeated Bulldozer and was thinking about how the Avengers should be there to help at any moment was very heartwarming and paid off completely when Cap finally picked him up. Looking forward to seeing all 3 Caps in the future, hopefully as well as the remaining 2 soon. As much as I can talk about the story, I'm also a big fan of the art in both parts of the comic, whether it be Steve and Sam's escapades or the origin stories of the Captain's Network. This is probably some of my favorite art I've seen recently. Looking forward to number 4 and 5. You know I'll be there at my local store the second they open. Aiden Silvano. Thanks for your support, Aiden. Hope you enjoyed the finale. Hello, Marvel team. I will admit that this is my first time reading a Captain America comic, and all I have to say is wow. Why did I not start this sooner? I've absolutely loved getting to know Steve Rogers throughout the series, and I'm beyond impressed by not only the action in this series, but also the thematic elements as well. As a gender fluid college student, it means a lot to me to see a diverse group of individuals take up the mantle as Cap. It truly demonstrates all the kinds of people who make up the United States. I particularly enjoyed Aaron Fisher and Joe Gomez, and I am really looking forward to issue number 4. I wish the series ran longer, and I hope to see all of these characters again. Keep up the great work. Best, John Mahaffey, Marietta, Ohio. We wish it could run longer too, John, but hopefully this won't be the last you see of these characters. I want to say thank you for the awesome representation in creating a character like Joe Gomez as one of the many Captain Americas. As a Hispanic of Mexican descent with supposed Kickapoo blood from Mexico, it does my heart good for a character like this to come along. My stepfather and his family are from southeast Kansas, so this makes Joe Gomez, being a Kansan, the absolute cherry on top. I hope to see more of this character in action as time goes on. Maybe his own series, perhaps? Sincerely, Nicholas Crapeel, True Believer. We'd love to do more, Joe. We'll see what the future holds. Dear USOCA team, I've been a Captain America fan for over 35 years. Needless to say, I eagerly awaited this comic to come out, and I definitely am pleased with it. It really resonates with the spirit of the Golden Age Captain America Sentinels of Liberty Club, where any liberty-loving youth could join against the oppression tyranny going on in Hitler's Europe at the time. Not many know this, but Captain America was such a radical idea when he came out. We see him punching out Hitler in his first issue, and don't realize that this was months before America joined World War II. It was still considered an isolationist nation. Joe Simon and Jack Kirby took a big chance in doing that issue. I'm glad that you have kept the radical spirit in which Captain was created alive. Cap has always been about the people, and seeing such a diverse group of new Caps rise up against domestic tyranny is truly wonderful. I hope we see more of them. Thank you, Philip Smogoleski. We definitely wanted to pay homage to the incredible Cap stories that came before ours, and I hope we succeeded in keeping the spirit of those earliest days alive. Thanks for reading. I just read US of Captain America number 3 and I loved it. Cap is a classic, but I feel an update has definitely been needed, and seeing everyday people picking up their own shields is so awesome. I was born and raised in New Hampshire, and I've been trying to learn more about my Native American roots, but it's been tough trying to learn about my ancestors' tribe. Seeing the Kickapoo Cap really made me feel great with his beautiful design and overall heart of gold and selflessness. Joe really made me feel connected. I really hope these characters aren't one-offs and will be featured in future Marvel titles. Liam Manning. Wishing you lots of luck in your research about your roots, Liam. I hope you're able to find what you're looking for. I'm 66 years old, which means I've been collecting comic books for 60 years. A few years ago, I met a guy who sold me a Captain America 1. It was in bad shape, which was why I was able to afford it. I know you're not supposed to do it, but I had the comic restored. I wanted to look like it. I wanted it to look like it did the day it hit newsstands in 1940. All of this is to say Captain America has always been my favorite Marvel timely character, which is why I'm such a big fan of the United States of Captain America. It's called to any American to be a Captain America is inspiring. God, this is hard to read and not cry. Its background on Native Americans, indigenous peoples is likewise spot on. Finally, when Cap quotes the Brown versus Board of Education, the case that ended segregation that sealed the deal. This collection of Captains America is here to stay. It's too well written and drawn to go away. Rabbi Stephen LeBow, Senior Rabbi Emeritus, Marietta, Georgia. Always nice to hear from you, Rabbi LeBow. Congrats on your restored Cap 1, and I'm glad you like the book, and thank you to all of our readers for your support throughout the series. It's meant the world to us. Even more big, exciting things are in store for Captain America in the near future, so stay tuned and get hyped. I look forward to seeing you back here soon. Captain of Editing, Alana Smith. Good Lord, I hope I don't get tears on my comic. Okay. Captain America's adventures will continue in Captain America Iron Man. A government agent turned Hydra provocateur stages a daring breakout on her way to prison, attracting the attention of both Iron Man and Captain America. When Tony and Steve realize they both have a connection to the slippery fugitive, they team up to track her down, only to discover she's not the only one on the board with big plans and sinister motives. Derek Landing, Angel Unzueta bring you a thrilling adventure starring the fan favorite dynamic duo with covers by Alex Ross. And then there's an ad for Geico. What do I see? Bundling made easy. Geico makes it easy to save when you bundle your home, auto, boat, cycle, or RV insurance. Yeah, that's a fortune we'd all like to get. Visit geico.com to see if saving more is in your future. So that's what we're looking at. And then this is the back. Purposefully powered. Citizen Eco Drive, purposeful power, the sustainable way to power your watch, no batteries required. Okay. Okay. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Let's go ahead and put this in our book. Insert United States. I put stats. States of Captain America. This is 5. Okay. And then I feel like we should jump into this Legion of X situation. Let's see if I've read any of it. I don't think, yeah. I'm just curious if we can look up the United States of Captain America, see what Golden Apple has. And how expensive they are. These are all important things to know. I feel like this one I already looked at. Where they were like, sorry, I'm doing 2 things at once. Okay, so there's one right there. Oh, so they were about $10. How'd I get that one for $5? I'm amazing. I really lucked out. Let me wipe my tears away. Yeah, because yeah, 5 is only $5, but they also don't have the one I got. But all these other ones are like $7 or $10. Well, I need to do some more research on that though before I start buying stuff. And maybe I feel like they had more at Torpedo, so I might check there first. Because obviously I got this one for $5. Okay, let's see what this says. August 15th is today. Yeah. Why are they trying to get people to work for today for only an hour more? Doesn't make any sense. I will apply to this Wella thing, even though I'm sure I won't get it, and it's not. I don't think there's a rush on it. Because you get paid and get the hair done. Awesome sauce. Okay. So we decided we're going to do the Legion of X. I'm just trying to see what we would want to do after. I think it's this pile that we'll start working on. Because these are like onesies or ones that I think that I'll read really quickly. I might do this last though. We like the Nightwing, so okay. Let's get into another book. Because I feel like we have about an hour left. Maybe that's a lie. No. The stream's about to end in 6 minutes, so maybe we won't. I guess we won't read anything else right now. Or maybe we can start it and then I can always finish it somewhere else or sometime else. So we're going to start with this. Poop. Legion of X3 Hellfire Gala Variant Edition. So let's find out. Hopefully we find out who this guy is. Whose side are you on? Demon Wars #1, The Iron Samurai, a New York excavation from Peach Momoko, summer 2022, Marvel. Okay, our story begins. Krakoa. Arbitrix. I have accessed Krakoan surveillance files. I regret to report nothing of value was revealed. If the fugitive god is here, nobody is speaking of it. The station inside the altar. These people, ma'am, they're preoccupied with banalities, romances, cultures, comforts. What else? If you run into Banshee, direct him to Councilor Birdie. Nobody's seen him since yesterday. And don't forget our VIP guest is coming. Pixie will play chaperone. Maybe that's the difference, Arbitrix. Where we Iraqi have been sculpted by survival, where we measure peace by our readiness for war. All right, here he comes. Everyone step back. They simply live. Does that make them weak, blind to the predators in their midst? I'm not so sure. No, it's really him. Welcome to Krakoa, sir. It's been too long, and sorry about the crowd. Word got out. It's not every day Doctor Strange drops by. In fact, Arbitrix, it seems to me that a people who obsess over connections enjoy 1,000 powerful eyes watching their backs. Where we see only ourselves. Humph, I certainly see weaponless Zen waxing lyrical on alien decadence as a prelude to failure. Our theomancers know the fugitive god fled to Krakoa, yet you are the only Iraqi visitor there. It must have new worshippers among them. Yes, ma'am, but whereas it would seem simple to detect the changes in behavior that speak to cult worship, switch, and switch again. Eccentric modes of thought are the norm among these people. So you concede your ineptitude, you quit? Never, Arbitrix. Perhaps if I knew more about the gods' worshippers before it fled Araco, I could build a profile, and that is not pertinent to your inquiry. You know, I was intending to free you from your vow of service after this mission. I know peacetime chafes at you. I dare say you yearn to join one of the mercenary bands leaving Araco, with all the other war addicts who can't adapt. I will be away on a mission today. You must decide your own duties, remember? The spark compels us to think creatively. Do some good, legionnaires. Fall out. Find that God sin. Find him and nothing more. Do not engage him. Do not listen to the lies of a trickster. Find him and contact me. I will acquaint him with Iraqi law. Do these things and I shall release you from the inward watch otherwise. Humiliation, degradation, destruction. I shall see to it myself. The beach liminal boundary of the astral plane and the altar. Nightcrawler, I received your note. You're certain this will work? Certain? Nine, of course not. But spying on X-Force got you nowhere, gods and spirits are the stuff of the astral plane. Perhaps there are answers out there. We might even have fun. The daft wee bugger's been itching for an excuse to go buckle his bloody swash out there. Hush now, David. You will stay here, yes? Sorry, there are those who need you. Then, Kurt, I can guide you, but you must stay close. Idea space is a sea of wonders, but like any ocean. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not showing you the pictures. Okay, I don't know if I showed you this. I think I got scared because I knew that my alarm was going to go off. And this looks like a very young, attractive Doctor Strange. Okay. There is darkness in the depths. Whoa. Ha, mine. With these artful hands, I, Devon Olimar, the mighty switch, shall burn my name onto the stars and... Wait, why can't I move these artful hands? What's got you, you body-stealing juggernaut? Ugh, sniff. Call me Kane, kid, or Uncle if you like. Uncle C, whatever. You got a second? I think I might be broken. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Okay. All right. So that is the end of my stream. That's what that alarm's for. So I'm going to mark this. And if I do get to stream tomorrow, I'll be finishing this, but I will be streaming it on Twitch, not here on YouTube. So you can find me there, Single Davy mode. And we'll read more of that and maybe some other stuff. So thank you all for being here. I hope everyone had a good time. Hopefully enjoyed the reading. Feel free to follow me here or follow me on Twitch. And again, I'll be twitching hopefully tomorrow, and the next day would be YouTube. And it just alternates depending on if I have the availability. So have a good one, everyone.